Before the college entrance exam, the class Belle Su Tian Tian customized a batch of pink answer sheet pencils, saying pink was this year's lucky color and could boost exam luck. She stood on the podium and acted cute, urging the whole class to replace their 2B pencils with her lucky pink. I spoke up to stop her. Colored pencils can't be recognized by the machine. The college entrance exam isn't child's play. My classmates mocked me, saying I was jealous of the class beauty and calling me an old-fashioned prude who didn't understand romance. I had no choice but to report it to the homeroom teacher, and all the pink pencils were confiscated. Later, when the college entrance exam results came out, only Su Tian Tian and the whole class failed to make the cut. She cried to everyone, saying that I had ruined her lucky pen, which was why she underperformed. The whole class accused me of being a troublemaker, and on the day of the celebration banquet, they even pushed me off the windowsill. If it weren't for Lin Jixia meddling, we might have been able to score 30 more points with the lucky pen. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day Su Tian Tian stood on the podium handing out pink pencils. This time, I wanted to see whether the pink pencil really could bring good luck. 1. Su Tian Tian stood on the podium, holding a big handful of pink pencils. Tata, these are the lucky pencils I had specially made. Pink is the luckiest color for the college entrance exam this year. Use these to answer the questions, and you'll score at least 30 points higher than usual. The classroom immediately erupted into an uproar. Really, Tian Tian, you're way too nice. I want it, I want it. This pink one is way too pretty. The boys cheered, and the girls screamed. A few had already left their seats and were stretching out their hands, pressing toward the podium. Su Tian Tian was surrounded by a crowd, her lips curled up high, but she was still acting coy. Hey, don't push, don't push, everyone will get one. She started handing them out table by table, giving a sweet smile with each one. When she reached my row, she paused for a moment, then simply skipped over me and went on to the table behind mine. I was sitting by the window in the second to last row, my desk completely empty, while the classmates around me all had a pink pencil in their hands. I didn't move. By the time she had handed out most of them, the cardboard box was already empty. She walked over to me, a fake smile on her face. Oh, Jixia, I'm so sorry, the baby counted the heads wrong. You won't be mad at the baby, will you? The baby really didn't mean it. I'll call the manufacturer right away to have them send another one, but it might take a few days. After saying that, she even tilted her head and blinked twice. I looked up at her and said indifferently, I have my own pen, I don't need yours. Su Tiantian's smile froze on her face. She probably didn't expect me to refuse so bluntly. Oh, so the top student, Lin, looks down on our lucky pen. The voice came from behind. Zhang Mingyuan turned his chair around, rested his arm on the corner of my desk, and glanced sideways at Su Tian Tian. You really don't have to be so ungrateful for Sweetie's kindness. Who are you putting on a face for? Su Tiantian's lips immediately puckered, and her eyes turned red too. Jixia, please don't be mad, it's the baby's fault. It shouldn't have counted the number of people wrong. As soon as she said that, the expressions of the girls standing nearby changed. Some people pouted, some shook their heads, and some muttered quietly, Lin Jixia is way too petty, isn't she? Exactly. Tian Tian already apologized. Maybe it's just that the top student is different from us and looks down on things ordinary people like us have. I listened to these words, feeling utterly unmoved. In my last life, I would feel wronged, think it was unfair, and want to explain. In this life, I only find it laughable. What kind of pencil I use? What does that have to do with you? I closed my textbook and looked at Su Tian Tian. Su Tian Tian, you said this pink pencil could boost exam luck. Will it help me score 10 extra points, or can it guarantee I get into a 985 university? If this pen is really that magical, I'll go tell teacher Zhao right now and have her hand one out to every student in the whole grade. What do you think? Su Tiantian's face went pale in an instant. Of course she didn't dare let me go find the homeroom teacher. With such obvious targeting, if the homeroom teacher found out, she would definitely be reprimanded. Su Tian Tian bit her lip, glared at me fiercely, and threw out a, how can you bully baby like this? Before thudding back to her seat, I picked up my backpack and walked straight out of the classroom. Behind me came Su Tiantian's soft sobs and the classmates' chatter of consolation. Sweetie, ignore her. She's just a bookworm. Exactly, she's the one who doesn't fit in, and now she's blaming others. Let's use ours. Don't bother with her. The corners of my mouth lifted slightly. Right, you use yours. I'm waiting to see you reap the consequences of your own actions too. When I got home, I closed the door and let out a long sigh. Memories from my past life came flooding back like a tide. Back then, I was also the class monitor, ranked in the top 3 in the grade, a well-behaved student in the teacher's eyes. When Tang Tian first transferred here, the whole class was excluding her. She spoke in a babyish, coquettish way, loved to act spoiled, and dressed unconventionally. Among a group of drab-looking third-year high school students, she stood out like an oddity. The girls thought she was pretentious, and the boys made fun of her. Watching her being isolated, I thought of how hard it had been when I first transferred schools, and I took the initiative to reach out to her. Later, I helped her fend off countless overt and covert attacks, and she gradually fit into the class, no longer the poor kid everyone made fun of. Ji Xia, you really are my best friend. I'll never forget you in the future. Later, her situation slowly improved, and she learned a more advanced kind of cuteness, speak a little more softly, smile a little sweeter, and shed a few tears now and then, and the people around her would gather around to comfort her. She started getting very close to the people who used to bully her. I couldn't understand it for a while and asked her, "They treated you like that before, and you don't mind?" She smiled and said, "Jixia, don't hold grudges so much. We were all still young and didn't know any better. Now they treat me quite well, and I want to get along with everyone." Her smile was very sincere, and I couldn't find a reason to argue, but what I didn't expect was that once she had established herself in the class, she began to isolate me. She didn't invite me to group meals, didn't add me to group chats, and I was always the last to know about anything. When people talked behind my back and said bad things about me, she didn't stop them. Instead, she laughed along. Later, she became even more relentless. She began deliberately stirring up conflict, making me look bad in front of everyone on purpose, describing my tolerance as indifference and my solitude as putting on airs. She transformed herself from the class joke into the class sweetheart, while turning me into the outsider. In my previous life, I could never figure out why. Until now, I finally understand. She never needed friends. What she needed was just someone to take her place as the target of the whole class, given a second chance at life. I won't make the same mistake again. The next day at school, Tang Tiantian's Pink Lucky Plan was already in full swing. A banner was hung at the back of the classroom, Pink Team, Victory in the Gaokao. Every student's desk had a set of pink stationery on it, pencils, erasers, rulers, and even pink highlighters. Tang Tian created a group called Tiantian's Lucky Baby Squad, and everyone was in it except me. She also started a lucky color check-in in class, wearing different shades of pink to class every day and asking her classmates to take photos and post them on WeChat moments. Babies, remember to wear pink every day so lucky energy can keep accumulating. Watching her bustle around like a pink pyramid scheme ringleader, I could only find it funny. At this moment, Zhang Mingyuan turned around from the front seat and slapped an English test paper onto my desk. "Explain this closed test to me." I glanced at it. It was very simple fixed collocations. Anyone who had paid attention in class would be able to do it. In my previous life, I would have patiently explained it to him, and even specially organized the common mistakes to send to the whole class. This life, I pushed the test paper back. "If you can't do it, go ask the teacher." Zhang Mingyuan glared at me, lowering his voice but unable to suppress his anger. "Lin Jixia, is it really necessary? It's just that Tian didn't lend you a pencil, isn't it? It has nothing to do with the pencil." I opened my workbook. "I just don't want to waste time." "You," Zhang Mingyuan flushed red, "what are you so smug about? Isn't it just that your grades are a little better? If Tian hadn't said you were a top student, who would bother asking you? Then that works out perfectly." I didn't even lift my head. "Don't ask me again." Zhang Mingyuan turned back angrily, muttering, "What kind of person is that?" I ignored him. "Su." Tian watched the commotion over here from the front, the corners of her mouth lifting as she whispered to her desk mate. I didn't even need to hear it to know what they were saying. It was nothing more than things like, "Lin Jixia is putting on airs again," and "she's just jealous that Tian is so popular." 3. During the break, Teacher Zhao pushed the door open and came in, and the classroom fell quiet. She stood on the podium, scanning the room, her gaze lingering for 2 seconds on the stack of pink pencils on Su Tiantian's desk. "The college entrance exam is just around the corner, and I need to emphasize one more thing." Teacher Zhao's voice wasn't loud, but every word was clear. "All students must use standard 2B pencils. Those off-brand, colorful, or flashy pencils on the market are strictly forbidden in the exam hall. The machines won't recognize them, and you'll get 0 points for the multiple choice section. That's a consequence none of you can afford." The classroom Instantly fell silent. Su Tian raised her hand, her voice carrying a coquettish lilt. Teacher Zhao, my pencil is custom-made, so it's definitely fine. Teacher Zhao frowned. I'm talking about a standard 2B pencil, the regular model. Can you guarantee that this custom pencil meets the requirements? But, no buts. Su Tiantian's mouth puckered, and her eyes reddened once more. But Teacher Zhao wasn't like those boys who fall for such tactics. She didn't even spare Su Tian a second glance, gathered her things from the lectern, and left. No sooner had Teacher Zhao left than the classroom erupted. What a lunatic, making such a fuss over nothing. Exactly, they meant well. Is it really necessary to make such a big deal out of it? It must have been Lin Jixia who went and told on us again. Isn't that just how she's always been, a professional snitch? Su Tian walked up to my desk, placed the pink pencil in her hand on it, and spoke in a voice that was neither too loud nor too soft, just enough for the whole class to hear. Jixia, this one's for you. I know you're upset because I left you out, but you shouldn't have gone and told Teacher Zhao about it. We're all in the same class. It doesn't look good to cause such a scene. We've all agreed that on the day of the college entrance exam, the whole class will use pink. It's called class spirit. We've prepared one for you too, so remember to use it then. I picked up that pink pencil and twirled it between my fingers a couple of times. Su Tiantian's eyes lit up. The next second, I placed the pen back into her palm. I said, I don't need it. You can use whatever you want. It has nothing to do with me. Su Tiantian's face froze. She opened her mouth to say something, but I had already packed my bag, zipped it up, and walked past her. Instead of going straight home, I went to the stationery store at the school gate. 10 standard 2B pencils, 2 spare ballpoint pens, an eraser, and a ruler. I put each item one by one into the transparent pencil case, took a photo, and saved it on my phone. When I got home, I turned on my computer and searched for colored pencils college entrance exam identification. The result was exactly as I had expected. The Education Bureau issues a notice every year, reminding candidates not to use non-standard 2B pencils. The graphite content in colored pencils generally fails to meet the standards. Using that kind of pencil to fill in the answer sheet can lead to unclear recognition at best, or a score of 0 at worst. I stared at the notification on the screen for a long time, then I picked up my phone and opened the class group chat. Su Tian just sent a message. Babies, remember to bring your lucky pens tomorrow. Our whole class is doing it together. It's super impressive. Below, a flurry of replies. Got it, don't worry. Tian, pink team, let's go. I left the group chat and turned off my phone. For the rest of my life, I won't say another word. On the day of the college entrance exam, I woke up early and checked the things I needed to bring 3 times: 10 standard 2B pencils, 2 pens, an eraser, a ruler, a compass, the exam admission ticket, and my ID card. Everything was neatly packed in the backpack, the zipper was pulled up, and another photo was taken and saved on the phone. The area outside the exam venue was packed with people. I spotted Su Tian at a glance. Today she was wearing a pink dress, with a pink hair clip in her hair, and holding a small pink flag that read, "Good luck for the win." A group of classmates surrounded her. Some were taking photos, and others were shouting slogans. When she saw me, she smiled and jogged over, reaching out to stuff 2 pink pencils into my arms. Jixia, you finally came. Baby's been waiting for you for so long. Everyone in the class has them except you. How ugly would the photos look if you didn't have any? I took a step back. Su Tian, I told you. I don't need them. Her eyes immediately turned red, and her voice trembled as she said, Are you still angry? Baby has already apologized to you. What more do you want? Zhang Mingyuan suddenly popped out from the side, holding up a pink pencil in his hand. Lin Jixia, enough already. You're the only one in the whole class making such a fuss. Do you think the rest of us are crazy? A few more classmates gathered around. That's right, using it once won't kill you. Su Tiantian's already been good enough to you. Don't be so ungrateful. I glanced at Su Tian. Her face wore a look of grievance, but there was a trace of smugness hidden in her eyes. The lead teacher squeezed over and said, What's going on? What's going on? We're about to enter the venue. Stop making a scene here. Taking this opportunity, I said, Teacher Zhao, I'm going to go check the exam room first. The teacher nodded and reached out to take my backpack. Go ahead, I'll hold onto your bag for you. When I came back after checking, the backpack was gone. Teacher Zhao, where's my bag? I asked. Oh, Su Tian said she'd hold it for you, worried I might not be able to carry it. Teacher Zhao smiled. That kid is pretty enthusiastic. My mind went blank with a buzz. I looked around, but there was no sign of Su Tian. I asked several people, and they all said they hadn't seen it. I ran around the playground like a headless fly. By then, the broadcast had already started urging the examinees to enter the venue. I was cold all over, just as I was about to give up and rush out to call the police. Su Tian ran out from the direction of the restroom. She was drenched in sweat, carrying my school bag in her hand, and rushed up to me, stuffing it into my arms. Jixia, where did you run off to? Baby has been looking for you everywhere. It's been so hard. Go in quickly. The exam is about to start. Baby is almost dying of anxiety for you. I opened my mouth to say something, but she had already turned and run off. There's no time left. I unzipped my backpack, and the pencil case was there, my ID was there, and my admission ticket was there. There was no time to look closely. I rushed into the exam room and sat down, panting, my heart pounding as if it were about to leap out of my throat. After the invigilator checked my information, the answer sheet was handed out. The exam bell rang. I opened my pencil case and took out a pencil. Something felt off. I looked down and saw that all 10 of my standard 2B pencils were gone, not a single one left. They had all been replaced with those pink lucky pencils. I took a deep breath. In this life, I would never let her ruin mine. 5. The exam bell rang. I lowered my head and looked at the pink pencil in my hand, and my heartbeat instead calmed down. I raised my hand. The invigilator walked over and lowered his voice. What is it, teacher? Someone maliciously swapped my stationery. I handed over the pencil case. It's full of colored pencils. Not 2B ones, so the machine can't recognize them. I need a spare pencil. The proctor was a female teacher in her 40s, surnamed Wang, with a very stern face. She took my pencil case, looked it over, and then looked at me. Are you sure someone swapped them out? I'm sure. Yesterday I prepared 10 standard 2B pencils and took photos as proof. Now there isn't a single one in my pencil case. Teacher Wang didn't say much. She turned around, took 2 2B pencils from the spare stationery box under the podium, and handed them to me. Is it enough? Yes, thank you, teacher. I took the pencil and checked my admission ticket and ID card again. Everything was in order. I picked up my pen and started answering the questions. The questions I'd done in my previous life were still imprinted in my mind. I remembered every single exam point for math, Chinese, English, and science in exact detail. The little incident with that pink pencil hardly affected me at all, because I knew that this time, no one would hold me back anymore. After the first exam, I walked out of the exam room, and Su Tian came up with a group of classmates. Jixia, how was it? The lucky pen I gave you was useful, right? Her voice was so sweet it sounded like it had just been scooped out of a honey jar. It's smoother than the one you bought yourself, isn't it? I looked at her and smiled. Su Tian, I didn't use your pen. Her smile froze for a moment. My pen was swapped out. I asked the proctor for a spare pencil. My voice wasn't loud, but everyone around us was looking over. Don't you know, when you helped me carry my bag, you replaced all the pens inside with your batch of pink junk. Su Tian's face turned pale in an instant. What nonsense are you talking about? Her voice rose an octave. I was only being kind and helping you carry your bag, and now you're slandering me. Zhang Mingyuan immediately stepped out and said, Lin Jixia, that's enough. Tian was just trying to help you. And if you don't appreciate it, fine, but now you're falsely accusing her in front of everyone. Exactly, Jixia, you're being way too much. A girl nearby chimed in. Tian has been so good to you. I couldn't be bothered to argue with them. Fine, just believe her then. I turned and left, not looking at Su Tian again. The 2 days of the college entrance examination were all like this. Su Tian had swapped out all of my standard stationery. But for every exam I asked the invigilator for help and got a spare pencil. She probably thought I would collapse and walk out of the exam room in tears, but every time an exam ended, I came out smiling, but her face looked worse day by day. After the last exam, Su Tian blocked me at the school gate. No acting spoiled, no tearful voice. Her voice was very low and cold. Lin Jixia, what kind of trick did you use? What do you mean, you used my pen? How could you possibly take the exam normally? She said through clenched teeth. I checked. Colored pencils can't be recognized by the machine. I looked at her and smiled. So you knew that the pen had a problem. Su Tian's expression changed. You knew it couldn't recognize the text, and you still sent it to the whole class. I leaned closer to her and lowered my voice. Su Tian, are you trying to help everyone, or are you trying to hurt everyone? She took a step back, her lips trembling. Why, you're talking nonsense. I didn't. whether you did or not, we'll find out soon enough. I turned and walked away, not looking at her again. 6. After the college entrance exam, I left the class group chat and blocked all my classmates. Su Tian posted on Moments, "It's all wrapped up perfectly, pink lucky pen YYDS, thanks, babies, for your company, looking forward to good news." The attached pictures were a 9-grid collage of selfies, and in every one she was holding that pink pencil. The comments section was full of compliments. Tian is the best, pink team, charge ahead, wait for me at the same university. When I came across this WeChat Moments post, I was at home estimating my exam score. In my previous life, I ranked 9th in the province. In this lifetime, the questions are more familiar and my mindset is better, so the score should only be higher, not lower. On the day the scores were released, I woke up at 4 in the morning, logged into the system and entered my exam admission number, 4th in the province. I stared at the screen for a long time, then slowly smiled. The phone suddenly exploded with notifications. In the class group chat, messages kept popping up one after another. How did I only get a little over 10 points on the math multiple choice questions? I did too. I got every English multiple choice question right, so why do I have 0 points? What's going on? I estimated over 500, so why is it only 200? Wait, did our whole class just blow up? I clicked into the group chat and skimmed through the messages. In the class of 42 students, 33 had at least one multiple choice section scored as 0, among them, 19, like Su Tian, had all 5 multiple choice sections completely wiped out. Without exception, they had all used Su Tian's pink pencil. The group chat exploded. Could there be a problem with the grading? No way, other classes are fine. I heard that colored pencils can't be recognized by the machine. What? Didn't Su Tian hand those out? The tide turned in an instant. The classmates who were still saying, "Sweet is the best," yesterday began frantically at Su Tian. Su Tian, come out and explain. What exactly did you send us? Are you deliberately trying to hurt us? Su Tian didn't reply. A few minutes later, someone in the group posted a screenshot. Su Tian had left the group. Local news exploded that very morning on the day the scores were released. Massive abnormalities in college entrance exam scores, with multiple candidates' multiple choice questions scored as 0. In the video, a group of parents stood crying at the entrance of the Education Bureau. My child usually scores over 600. How could they get only 200 on the college entrance exam? Is this even something a human would do? Give my child an explanation. The camera swept across the crowd. Standing in the very front were Su Tian and her mother. Su Tian was crying so hard her makeup was ruined, shouting at the camera, "My daughter usually has very good grades. There must have been a problem with the grading." I turned off the video and switched on the TV. The news channel is covering this live. A reporter is interviewing people outside the Education Bureau, where parents are holding up their children's report cards and certificates, visibly emotional. My child was in the top 10 of the class in both the first and second mock exams. More than 10 years of hard work, just gone like that. Must regrade the papers. The person from the Education Bureau responded, "An investigation has already been launched. Please wait patiently." Parents, I picked up my phone and sent Teacher Zhao a message. "Teacher Zhao, have the scores been checked?" Teacher Zhao replied instantly, "I checked. You ranked 4th in the entire province. Amazing, thank you, teacher. How's the class doing?" "Hey," Teacher Zhao sent a voice message, her voice full of exhaustion. "There's a problem with Su Tian's group's colored pencils. The machine can't recognize them. More than 30 multiple choice questions in the whole class got 0 points." Her parents came to the school with a bunch of people to make a scene, saying we didn't give enough warning. Teacher Zhao did remind them. "I saw the screenshot in the group chat." "Yes, but they wouldn't listen." Teacher Zhao sighed. "Now that it's turned into this, I don't know what to do." I put down my phone and leaned back in the chair. 3 days later, the investigation results were released. The notice made it very clear. All the pencils used on the 0-scored answer sheets were non-standard 2B pencils. The colored pencils had insufficient graphite content, so the infrared scanners could not detect them. The stationery had been purchased and used by the students on their own initiative and had nothing to do with the examination board. The Education Bureau also attached a test report. The graphite concentration of each pink pencil was only HB, far below the standard for 2B. Conclusion: the consequences shall be borne by the examinees themselves. As soon as the news came out, the entire internet was in an uproar. Parents blocked the school gate, demanding that the school take responsibility, but this time, Their anger was no longer directed at the Education Bureau. Instead, it was directed at Su Tian. It's your daughter's fault. If it weren't for her brainwashing him every day with that so-called lucky color, would my son have used that crappy pen? My daughter could have gotten into a top university. And now even a junior college spot is in jeopardy. You're paying for my daughter's college. Your family has to take responsibility. Su Tian was so frightened she didn't dare go out. Her mother knelt at the school gate begging for forgiveness, but was carried away by security guards. In the class group chat, the classmates' insults became even harsher. Su Tian, you troublemaking menace. What are you pretending to be cute for? You're nothing but a disaster. You failed the exam yourself. And now you want to drag the whole class down with you. Are you sick in the head? I stared at those messages and didn't reply to a single word. Su Tian was scolded for 3 straight days, and finally couldn't hold it in anymore. She posted a long article, titled, "The top student Lin Jixia knew the pink pencils had a problem but didn't warn us, causing the entire class to fail the college entrance exam." The article was written in a tearful, heart-wrenching tone. Lin Jixia is the study committee member in our class. She had already checked that the machine couldn't recognize colored pencils, but she never told us. She could have stopped all of this, but she chose silence. She's just jealous that I'm popular and wants to see me make a fool of myself. The accompanying photo was of me coming out of the exam hall. I don't know who took it secretly. The pencil in my hand is pink. No, I'm holding nothing at all. The photo only captured my back as I walked toward the exam room, but the wording in the article was very crafty. The pink pencil she's holding is exactly the one I handed out. As soon as this long post was published online, it was instantly reshared thousands of times. Those students who had failed the exam clung to it like a lifeline, furiously reposting and leaving comments. Exactly, why didn't she remind us? If she had said so earlier, we wouldn't have used it. She came in 4th in the province, so she must have done it on purpose. How could someone like her be fit to be the study committee member? Public opinion began to reverse. Netizens who were unaware of the truth began attacking me. This person is way too vicious. We were classmates once. Did it really have to come to this? I suggest canceling her college entrance exam score. I looked at these comments and didn't panic at all, because I had already been prepared. I used a dummy account to post 3 pieces of evidence under Su Tian's post. The first piece, audio recording, a month before the college entrance exam. I recorded word for word what Su Tian said while handing out pencils in the classroom. Oh, Jixia, I miscounted the number of people. You won't be mad, will you? I told you. Stop trying to stir up trouble here. It was crystal clear. Even the coquettish lilt at the end of Su Tian's voice was captured unmistakably. Paragraph 2, screenshot, the reminder Mr. Xiao posted in the class group chat. All students must use standard 2B pencils. Colored pencils can't be recognized by the machine. This is common knowledge. Timestamp, 2 weeks before the college entrance exam. Paragraph 3, screenshot of the exam hall. Surveillance footage at the entrance of the exam center on the day of the college entrance exam. Su Tian forcibly tried to stuff a pink pencil into my hands, but I refused. While I was checking the exam hall layout map, she took my backpack from Teacher Zhao and hid in the restroom. When they came out, the school bag was noticeably flatter. I added a note. First, Teacher Zhao reminded you all, and the whole class saw it. Second, I asked whether you had checked the recognition rate of colored pencils, but no one responded to me. Third, Su Tian privately swapped out my stationery. For every exam, I had to ask the proctor for a spare pencil. The entire internet flipped in an instant. The trending topic changed from pink pencil incident to Su Tian get out of the college entrance exam. Netizens dug up Su Tian's all kinds of social media, all of her baby